Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And while it looks like Marvel has canceled Black Panther. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a project that had been announced several years ago, bringing Black Panther into your own hands, being able to go out there and be him inside of a video game and be able to go out there and just absolutely crush all of the enemies of Wakanda, has now been canceled over there at Electronic Arts, ladies and gentlemen, along with a whole crap ton of layoffs and an entire studio behind this game getting shut down. And the reasons behind it are probably a little bit more than what AEA is talking about publicly. The reason behind that, the lady that was currently in charge of and ahead of the studio and some of the things she's done in the past, because it's more of the purging going on inside of the video game industry, and Marvel is making sure it's going to happen with their Black Panther game as well, because considering the last couple of years of flops that we have had from the AAA gaming studios, this is the last thing they need, especially with the Marvel brand, because one of the excuses they give about this is how they want to concentrate on more successful IPs. I mean, last I checked, Black Panther made some pretty good money at the box office. I think the first one might have crossed $1 billion. If it didn't come, it came really, really close. And I know the second one made like about 850 to almost 900 million. So that reason behind it right there is extremely suspect. But once we check out the history of this Black Panther's video game dev, well, I think it might be a little more understandable why this studio is getting completely and totally shut down and Marvel is canceling the Black Panther. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to check out this article from cosmicbook.news, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what is going on and what the parts of the story that the EA is not telling you. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 1,900. We're inching our way closer and closer to 2K once again, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Were you looking forward to the Black Panther game? Did you hear about some of the people involved with it? Did that make you cautiously optimistic, or that make you very, very scared that the game was going to be nothing more than another AAA absolute disastrous dumpster fire? Are you sad to see that this game was canceled, or would you have actually liked to see a well-done Black Panther game, probably like so many Marvel fans out there? Let us know what you think about that in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check the links in the description. Think about becoming a member, which will help keep the lights on around here indefinitely. So please consider checking that out down below. Plus, there's a bunch of benefits that come with it as well. All right, from Matt McGloin over there at cosmicbook.news. Black Panther video game canceled as studio shuts down. Yes, the studio that was literally created to bring you this game, it and all of its employees are now gone, and it all ends up coming down to leadership, and we'll get into their leadership. The Black Panther video game, which has been in development since 2023, featuring an experienced team with diverse voices and perspectives. Well, there's a giant red flag now, isn't there, boys and girls? Has been canceled. Electronic Arts is shutting down the game studio behind the game, Cliffhanger Games. IGN has confirmation and says the news follows layoffs at EA involving more than 300 people as of late. Can you imagine that? Now, here's the thing about that. All 300 of those people could be from Cliffhanger Games, working on a AAA Marvel game from one of the most successful characters in the MCU franchise as of currently. So, wow. And the 300 people working for that is not unheard of. We heard that about with Assassin's Creed. We heard that about with Star Wars Outlaws, about these dev teams were just giantly overbloated. That's why these budgets are so insane for a lot of these AAA games. That's why it's so hard for so many of them to make a profit right now. Like, literally, this could be everybody involved with this game. It's not out of the realm of possibility. More than likely, there's probably other roles that EA decided to lay off as well. Hopefully, all of the people involved hiring the lady that we're going to get to here in a second. EA Entertainment President Lauren Yell addressed staff in an email explaining that the recent wave of cancellations and layoffs is part of a broader strategy to streamline operations and concentrate on key areas of growth. Basically, that means we're kind of broke, and if we want to continue to be profitable going forward and actually be able to produce games, a lot of you have to go. Basically, we hired way too many people to develop games that aren't going to work out, and unfortunately now there's probably a bunch of very wonderful people losing their jobs. There's also a lot of very bad people losing their jobs. These decisions are hard. They affect people we've worked with, learned from, and shared real moments with. Yeah, that's some really corporate BS speak, isn't it? We're doing everything we can to support them, including finding opportunities within EA, where we've had success helping people land in new roles. How many of those people land in new roles? You don't say a lot. She added that the goal is to sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. In her email, Mealy said EA will narrow its focus to a select group of core franchises: Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. She also confirmed continued investment in Motive's Iron Man game. Another Marvel game from another very successful character inside the MCU. That one's not getting canceled. The third Star Wars Jedi title. Despite the cuts, EA will maintain its mobile business while BioWare continues development on the next Mass Effect. Mealy's message follows up an earlier statement from CEO Andrew Wilson, who said the company would be moving away from the development of future licensed IP that we do not believe will be successful in our changing industry. Wait a minute. You're telling me a Black Panther game would not be successful if done right? Now there's the caveat. If done right. Marvel and EA have canceled this Black Panther game because they already knew from the people involved and probably what, or the lack of, what they produced so far. It's the exact same kind of issues that we have seen make all of these games broken and buggy messes. This is why we talk about red flags. Oh, and about those red flags. The Black Panther video game also recently came under fire when it was learned a developer on the game previously didn't hire white people to create a safe environment. Yes, boys and girls, one of their head developers was a giantist. It just not against the culturally appropriate people. The spirit of the age appropriate people. Marvel's Black Panther video game dev bans white people. The Black Panther video game is being developed by a new division at Electronic Arts, Cliffhanger Games. The lead developer, Dani Lalonders, intentionally hired only people of color to create a safe environment for her previous game. The Black Panther video game promotes diversity and collaboration within the development team. Well, it certainly doesn't do that anymore. Now does it, boys and girls? And here's the issue. A video from 2021 has resurfaced where Dani Lalonders admits to having no white people on our team and that she intentionally did it to create a safe environment. So what, you don't feel safe around white people? Exactly what does that say about you? Me thinking somehow the direct opposite of the white fragility lady? Yeah. We have no white people on our team, Leandro said during the stream for a Game Devs of Color Expo in 2021 while working on Validate. I did Validate. Oh, wow. If you couldn't come up with a more spirit of the age, PC agenda driven name, Validate, because we just want to be validated. You don't believe in our identities. We just want to be validated and seen as the real us. Gag me with a spoon. I wonder how well that game did. I did that because I want to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. Wow. So you only feel safe around your own kind. Oh, really? Well, maybe she's got some kind of past trauma. Maybe she had some horrible thing happen to her in her childhood. Who knows? Maybe those are the reasons, right? Oh, no. I'm not saying white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. Well, it sure sounds like you're saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes it's hard to work with white people because they think something is okay, but it's really a microaggression. Yes, boys and girls. Another one of those delusional things that people with way too much time on their hands and way too much of a comfy life completely and totally made up, because apparently subconsciously you will do things that might offend a person of a different race because you're just all inherently ists and phobes, I guess. Or I don't know, here's a thought. Maybe you're just too sensitive and you should grow a sack and actually maybe tell somebody if something offends you that much, instead of literally admitting to an illegal discriminatory hiring practice. Because that's illegal under the law, under the civil rights laws that Martin Luther King, the Reverend Martin Luther King, the Dr. Martin Luther King, fought and died for. So, who's the ist here again now? I wonder why this game wasn't producing and they canceled it. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love. This is Dani Lalonders, a non-binary game developer. She was hired by Cliffhanger Devs to create a game based on Marvel's Black Panther. A non-binary-ist was helping develop, if not leading development, on a Black Panther game that has now been canceled because allegedly EA didn't believe the IP would be successful. You know, an IP that's made over almost $2 billion at the box office collectively. That's not including his appearance in Civil War. So, yeah, boys and girls, let's ponder here for a second. What is more likely, based on the information I have now presented to you and what we know about this game and who was involved in the development? Do you think EA's being honest and not giving us corporate speak, and also not specifically speaking to the Black Panther game, just in general? Do you honestly believe that the Black Panther video game, if done right, would not have been successful? Or is it more likely that the development team and all of the insane acolytes of the cult, possessed by the spirit of the age, politically incorrect nutsos out there, couldn't find their butts from a hole in the ground, let alone develop a proper video game? Why would we think they could with all of these red flags already getting thrown up? We couldn't do that with Star Wars Outlaws. We couldn't do that with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We couldn't do that with Concord. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like, we have seen these companies lose billions of dollars over the last 2 years, hiring insane activists with a political agenda to develop and work on their projects, whether it be Marvel with the movies and the television shows, or whether it be Marvel and EA with the video games. We know Disney specifically tied bonuses to hiring people from diverse backgrounds, i.e. not white people. Right? And if you didn't meet those quotas, you didn't get your bonus. What do you want to bet there was something very similar at EA? And Cliffhanger Studios was nothing more than an excuse to do that. Well, now that excuse is gone because, A, everybody's figured it out real quick that 2 + 2 still equals 4. And after all the infections, after really getting into the HR departments and everything else, it turns out all these major corporations worship at one thing and one thing only: the altar of the almighty dollar. And they don't bow down to all of your activist insanity like you thought they did. They were giving you lip service as always. So don't get mad at me, get mad at them, because they were lying to you right from the beginning. Me and the rest of of my kinfolk like me have been nothing but honest with you about your delusions from the very beginning. We have never decided to cater to you or to lie to you about the insanity you currently possess. And guess what? That insanity, fortunately enough, will not be affecting the Marvel's Black Panther game and will not be affecting T'Challa in any way, shape, or form. And guess what? Dani Lalonders, you can take your non-binary-ism and walk right out the door at EA because you are fired and it's exactly what you deserve. Learn from your mistakes, EA, and do better in the future. But knowing you guys, you'll probably screw up again. But hey, at least that is the end of one error, and all of the Black Panther fans can be very thankful for that, if nothing else.